Hey everybody, welcome in. In this video, I am going to show you how to create the smart text for your custom title block. So right now I have my template drawing here, but I want to get into my title block. So to do that, I'm going to go where you see B-size title block. I'm going to right click. I'm going to click on edit. And then I'm just going to kind of zoom in to kind of get this thing centered a little bit. So I'm going to add for the title, I'm going to go up to, click on my text, kind of click where I want my title is going to be, somewhere in the center here in this section area here. And then what I want to do is I'm going to change the height. So I want to make it a little bit taller than these. So those are 0.125. So I'm going to make these 0.1875. And then to get it to be smart text, in this kind of area here, where you see type, I'm going to click on, for the title, it's going to be properties model. And then over here where you see appearance, it's going to be, I'm going to click on title. And then make sure that you want to click where you see this X and that little down arrow. So we're going to add the text parameter. I'm going to click that box. And so also, I want to make sure that this is kind of centered in this area. So I'm going to click on the center justification. I'm going to click on this middle justification here. For some reason that didn't catch. So I'm going to put, again, for my height, 0.1875. And then click OK. And you can see it kind of added our title parameter here. So there's no title yet because we don't have a drawing that's kind of placed in here. But what I want to do is I want to dimension this text to where it's going to be centered in this area here. So I'm going to click on dimension, click the center dot over here. And that's going to be, it's going to be 3 in this case, but I'm going to click it to where its dimension is going to be the same as here. Click OK. And then what I want to do is I'm going to click on the dimension from the center to the bottom here. I want that to actually be centered underneath the title here. So I don't want that to be centered in the space. So for the distance off the bottom line, I want to make that whatever this distance is and divide that by 3. So it's kind of lower there, and then, so that's good for that. And then for the material here, again, I'm going to click on my text. Where do I want this to be? Somewhere in this area here. For the material, I would want it to be kind of left justified. It could be, let's see, do we want it to be, yeah, middle justified, left. I want this to be 0.1875. I want to click on this area here so that for the material, it's going to be properties model. And then it's going to be, instead of appearance, we're going to click on material. Make sure you add the text parameter. So we're good there. Just make sure it's left justified, middle justified here. Hit OK. And then I want to line up these. So I'm going to click on the horizontal constraint. So to get this center dot to this dot here, I want to vertically constrain this from this dot to move that over like so. And then I'm just going to add the next. So I'm going to go to text here, drawn by. I'm going to click in the area here. For this one, it's going to be, again, let me change the height first. It's going to be 0.1875. The tab, This one's going to be, you can make it also left justified, middle justification here. Under this area here, I'm going to click, this is going to be properties drawing. And then author, that's what we want is author. Click, just add text parameter. So it shows up down here. I click OK. Yeah, so that could either be centered or not. So I'm just going to line it over to the left. So I'm going to click on my vertical constraint. I'm going to line it up with this dot and this dot. And then I'm going to dimension it off the bottom. Let me hit the escape key. Dimension it off the bottom to this dot. And that's going to be, for this, I'm just going to click this dimension to make it the same as that. So that way it's kind of centered underneath the drawn by section letters there. And then checked by, I'm going to click on my text. I'm going to click on this area here. I'm going to change the height to 0.1875 with the tab key. And this section here, this is going to be properties drawing. And it's going to be, click on checked by. And then make sure we add the text parameter. All that. Oh, let me click this middle justification. And then left justification on this one. We're all good. Hit OK. Now I can constrain these. Horizontal constrain. So this dot to this dot. And then vertical constrain these dots here to this one. There we go. For scale, I'm going to click on my text. Just kind of click somewhere randomly inside the space here. Again, change the height, 0.1875. And then in this box, this is going to be sheet properties. And then initial view scale. That's what we want. Yeah. I'm going to change this to initial view scale. Left justified. Middle justified for this one. Make sure we add the text parameter. Hit OK. Now this one's going to kind of extend outside the box, and that's okay. Let me constrain this. Vertical constraint from this dot to this dot. I want to dimension it from that dot to the bottom. And it's going to be the same as, let's say, this one. Hit the check. I'm going to come back to the units. Actually, these next two they're kind of fancy. So let me go to the sheet one here. I'm going to click on text. Just going to click somewhere in this box. There's actually going to be two parameters in this one. So I'm going to click on, maybe I should do that last. Change the height so I can do them all at the same time. Yeah, so I'm going to click on where you see type. And then I'm going to go to sheet properties. Initial view scale. I want to change this to sheet number. And then, let's see, I want to put this left justified, middle justified here. I'm going to select the X here to add the text parameter. And then here I'm going to click it and I'm going to space it over a little bit. I'm going to type in of. So it's sheet number 1 of however many. Let me space another space there. So then I want to add another parameter, and it's going to be drawing properties, and then it's going to be number of sheets. And then again, it's going to be left justified, middle justified. Make sure you add the text parameter. So it's going to be like sheet number 1 of however many. So, and then I want to just going to select all of these so that I can change the height here to 0.1875. hit the tab key. We'll get them all the heights together. I'm going to hit OK. And then again, that's gonna extend kind of out of the boundary here. That's totally okay. So I'm gonna constrain this vertically to this dot, to this dot. I want to constrain it horizontally from, say, this dot here to this dot. So there's that. Yeah, okay. So then we need to do the units. So the units is gonna be, it could either be like inches or millimeters depending on what you're bringing in. So it could vary. So for the units, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go up to my text. And I'm just gonna click somewhere in this box to put it where I kind of think I want it to be. So for this one, I'm gonna put, for the height, 0.1875, hit the tab key. For this area here, it's gonna be a prompted entry, let's just say. And then so down here it says, what is it gonna prompt? So actually, let me change this, didn't lock in, 0.1875. So the inside these kind of brackets here, I'm going to say, it's going to ask a question when you bring in this template. It's going to be, is it going to be millimeters or inches? Question mark. Yeah, I'll leave it at that. Oh, that's good. Oh, let me have left justification, middle justification for this one. Oh, that's good. I'm gonna hit OK. And then let me kind of line this up. So, and there's a lot going on here. So I'm gonna have some overlapping text. So I'm gonna go to vertical constraint. I'm gonna click on this dot, click on this dot. I'm gonna go to horizontal constraint. So this dot to this dot and move it down. Yeah, they're overlapping, but that's totally okay. I'm going to then, I think I'm good. So I'm gonna hit finish sketch. It says save edits. Yes, I'm gonna do that. See how this is where it's gonna be, is it millimeters or inches? Just for this example, I'm just gonna type in, for the value, just type in IN for inches. And hit OK. And you can kind of see it change it to inches there. So now we got sheet 1 of 1 drawn by. So for drawn by, if you want to change this, right? So I'm going to go up to File, and then iProperties. And then under Summary, you can change the author to, let's say you want it to be L. Beach up, you could put your name here. For project, status, custom, all these different items here. So designer checked by, I'm looking for checked by, I don't really see that status. Oh, checked by here, checked by. So whatever I enter here in the checked by is gonna pop in here. So that's under the status. Let's say it's checked by, I don't know, Yoda, whoever. Then I'm gonna hit apply. You can kind of see it, put my name there. It's checked by Yoda, whoever it's checked by there. And then for the title and the material, the scale, that depends on what drawing you bring in. So if I wanted to bring in, let's say, my base drawing. Let's see, I want to find just some kind of a file here. Let me go to my F. Let me go to maybe, let's just bring in an ice cube tray, let's say. Click open. So let's say if that's my front view, which I don't know. Let's say this is my front view of my ice cube tray. Just gonna plop it in. I'm gonna change the scale actually. You can see the scale is 1/4. So the scale is 1/4. If I'm gonna bring in like 1/2 and then and hit OK. So you can see it automatically updated my scale. For the materials, generic. And then there's no title on there. That's because if I want to go to, let me see if I can open this original drawing. Where's the ice cube tray is here. I think that's the one I brought in. Wait for it to open. So my material here, it says generic. So if I change this to like from generic to, I don't know, what can we find? Some kind of a PET plastic maybe. And then for the title of it, if I go to File, iProperties, Summary, I can name this like Ice Cube Tray. In my part drawing, and then click Apply, hit Close, and then go back to my my drawing here. So notice that when I change the name of that original part, it named it here Ice Cube Tray, and then it automatically put in my material here. So that's kind of what Smart Text does. It kind of reads information off of your part file and plops it in for you automatically. Obviously, I don't want this in my template, so I'm going to delete this. Delete that view, yes, because I don't want that. And I'm just going to go up to save my template. So File, I'm going to hover over Save As. I'm going to click Save Copy as Template. And so I'm just going to click on one. This is my B-size landscape title block. I'm going to save it. It's going to say, do you want to save already? Yeah, sure do. Because that's going to save in my Smart Text. And then there we go. So now let's see. If I close out of this, I'm going to close this. I don't want to save that now. So I'm going to close this. I don't want to save that either. Nope. So let's say if I want to go up and start a new drawing file, right? So I can just, instead of clicking on the standard, I can just click on, let's say, I forget which one I did. Oh, this one, B-size landscape. So I would click here, hit create. It's going to ask you, is this part that you're going to bring in, is it in millimeters? Is it in inches? Let's type in millimeters this time and hit OK. And so you can see it brings everything in, what it knows so far. So it's sheet 101. If I want to add another sheet, I would go to new sheet here. Again, that one's going to be, let's say that one's millimeters 2. Hit OK. So now it's sheet 2 of 2. So I'm in sheet 2. So if I want to go back to sheet 1, I would right click, hit activate. Now I'm on sheet 1. So you get as many sheets as you add, it'll automatically count them out for you. And then the drawn by, again, I can go up to iProperties. I can change this to L Leach. If you're at school and you're on a computer where it says drawn by, it's probably going to bring in your student ID number. So that way, every time you create a new drawing, it's gonna bring in your student ID number. You can change it like I just did to drawn by or whatever. But anyway, that is how you create your own custom title block. We added smart tags. We brought in our logo. It looks nice and fancy. So then that's a B-size sheet. So if you wanted to create a C-size sheet or a D-size, an A-size, you can just do the same process and just create your own custom title blocks. And I hope that helped. So, and the good thing is you only got to do that one time for each one, and then they're done. You don't got to keep doing it over and over. So yeah, hope that helped. Peace out.